So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to present an end-to-end AI workflow for business analysts, and what it's going to involve. Again, this is my way of looking at it, how we can automate the entire business analysis process using a variety of AI tools. And I'm going to take the case of sustainable fashion, and we are going to work through a variety of steps that business analysts do in their day-to-day life, but we are going to automate most of it using AI and go with low-code or no-code solutions. So the agenda for this session is we are going to look at automated research options using Google Trends and Gemini Deep Research, develop basic visualizations using ChatGPT. So I'll introduce you to a GPT module that can indeed read in your data and help you develop basic visualizations. And also and I'll introduce you to another powerful data analysis ally, which is a paid option but works beautifully. Then we are going to look at carrying out, you have the visualizations. That's very, very important for a business analyst. But we are going to look at carrying out automated AI analysis and strategy generation, including trend summarization, challenge identification, and strategies, and see which AI tools can actually support you in this. We are going to explore automation, and then also look at the different output options that you can pursue in order to present your findings. So, let's just get started. The first thing in life is to do research, and here we have the Gemini research. So basically you can come to Gemini, and let's just keep it simple. Research the evolution trends, challenges, and opportunities. So we can just use normal human language here, that have emerged in the sustainable fashion space in the UK we'll go for 5 years, from 2020 to 2025. And remember, you need to be on the deep research module here for this to actually do some magic for you. And then Gemini asks you, here's my plan, tells you that here's my plan to tackle that topic. Let me know if you need to make changes. So that's what it's going to do. Research the historical development and key milestones of sustainable fashion in the UK between 2025, including events, predominant trends, investigate. So if you're happy with this, we can start the research, or you can edit the plan. We'll start the research. It'll take a few minutes, but the results are usually quite in-depth. And yes, you have the option of showing the thinking. So I'm going to go in for showing the thinking and the sites browsed, because you can explore the sites too. And this is the goal. And as I said, this is going to take time. But already it's emerging, and you can see that there's quite a lot of detail happening here. There are websites, there are things about, authoritative sources like McKinsey is being prioritized. There are details of British white papers, which is again very important if you're in the UK. So while the magic happens here. And this is how the gaps are being addressed. Here's Google Trends. So let's just go with Google Trends. Let's again keep it simple. Sustainable fashion. So this is United Kingdom, past day. Let's just go for past 5 years. And yes, we have the option of comparing it with other entities and places and whatnot, but let's just go with this. So this is multi-timeline. Let's also include the related topics, subregions. So we have all of these, and let's see where Google Gemini is. So yes, it's still researching away. And yes, this kind of research takes time, but this is very helpful for business analysts. So anyway, I had a go with this particular tool, which is the code interpreter. So if you go to GPTs and look for code interpreter, so it writes code, interpret and dissect any code. I went with this. And then there's the code interpreter plus. So I think I just went with something basic, and it's already done its trick. And here I just pasted, I just put in my CSVs here. I don't need this anymore. And yes, it struggled with the CSVs and so forth, and this is all the pandas code. So all the coding in ChatGPT is done using pandas. If you know pandas, yes, you can actually go and try to replicate this code in your Python notebooks. I think that's a good idea, but again, you strictly don't have to. So you can already see related entities being drawn out, multi-timeline, and generate visualization. So once it managed to read in the data, it took a couple of false starts, I would say. It actually gives you further suggestions. So would you like to generate visualizations and insights from both data sets, trend analysis, top entities, or combine them into a single analysis report? I went with this one. So again, my goal is not to give you a complicated set of prompts. Let's just start with normal, human, understandable prompts and keep them short, because this is an iterative process. So, we develop our prompts, we develop our analysis as we go along. So generate visualizations and insights. Again, you don't have to run this code if you don't want to. The bottom line is that these are the Google trends over time, from 2021 all the way to 2025. And then these are the related entities and their values. These are the trend summary statistics. So, sustainability is, and already we have key insights. So sustainability is a top related entity, statistical summary. And yes, we have the option of generating a report. So yes, now if you want a simple report, we can look at generating a report and end of the story. But our research has been completed here. So let's just see. I'm going to copy the content. You can even export to docs. And we can create an infographic. Again, infographic, because remember, at the end of the day, you'll get your, because we are working with multiple tools, yes, you'll get your information from multiple places, multiple AI tools, and correlate them and use them in one place. So it's again writing the code to develop, and this is an HTML infographic that you can use. But in the meantime, let's just see, because the report itself is very viable, useful if you say wanted to understand the basic trends and so forth. Let's just go with this. So it's a beautifully written report. I'm going to just save it somewhere. Just remember to save all of this stuff. That's, people tend to forget that so often. And this is the fabric of change. So it's a beautiful infographic. An infographic on UK's sustainable fashion landscape. It's a market weaving growth and opportunity. UK's sustainable fashion market is experiencing explosive growth, significantly outpacing the global ethical sector, signaling a major shift in the sector's economic landscape. So it's projected to grow. Growth in UK's second-hand sales, conscious customer paradox, willing to pay more. So if you want to target Gen Z, that's your place to go. Currently, trends reshaping, circular economy models, circular from voluntary pacts to mandatory policy. So this is CAP 2020, UK Textiles Pact, Fashion declares white paper, future regulation, navigating the headwinds, and this is the data synthesized. So I think this is perfect. I think I don't need anything else. You know, and we can share it, we can copy the contents. And again, and for sharing, we have Excel, Gemini, LinkedIn, and this is the shareable public link for your canvas. And we can even aim to recreate something similar. So, you know, infographic is like one part of the story. Let me just, I always feel comfortable if I have, let's see if I can copy this thing. Okay, now it won't work. So, I mean, I could copy the HTML and actually work through the code, but I think I'll keep my infographics separate. So yes, recreating this infographic means having HTML support. But let's see, can we enrich the above analysis with this report? Again, I don't like to keep my, at least when I start out, I don't like to keep my prompts, you know, too tight or didactic. It's important to, you know, let your prompts breathe, if I may say so. Okay. Let's just save it. Yeah, so ChatGPT can read Word documents, but sometimes it struggles with those. So all I'm trying to do is to make life easier. Sustainable fashion. Make sure the PDF is written properly. Yes. Let's just look at the enriched visualizations and strategic insights as a dashboard. In the meantime, while it struggles and wrestles with this is Julius. Julius is another data analysis tool, and what you can do is to actually set up your data connections with your Google Drive, with PostgreSQL, and actually feed in your data, and you get ready-made visualizations. But this is a paid option. So for example, I wanted to look at solar power time series, and yes, you can provide data from Google. So what I did was to provide the data. So I just provided the data here, and then it ran through all the code and actually produced all of these visualizations and analysis for me. Yes, it's a subscription model, but I think if you're going to do a lot of this work, it's worth it. And let's see how far has my code interpreter gotten with this. Yes, since it's a free, and again, these are the things that we have to do. So one thing when we are working with free tools, or well, if you have ChatGPT, then you have access to all the GPTs, is that yes, we do have to do this stuff iteratively, and while we do that so again, you can see the visualization has been enriched with SCAP, UK textile practices, top related, average interest. So it's a much better visualization. This is the market growth and what's driving it. UK market CJAR. Yes, let's see. Again, sometimes generating a full professional report via ChatGPT may not work, and that's when we just copy paste into a Word document, but there's no harm in trying. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce you to make.com, which is very good for automation. So automations which you can see, flex and scale, assuming that you wanted to put this out for a lot of people. So you'll go to make.com. Just go to make.com and then log in. And since this is my first time, so which of the apps I expect I'll use all of these apps. Let's see, because it's although I don't use WordPress and stuff, but then never say no. Perplexity is another very good tool for doing research, but for business analysts, Google Deep Research is your go-to, and I'm going to use LinkedIn. Did it give me the option of LinkedIn? So we can, yeah, I want to automate creating and posting social media posts. I intend to target LinkedIn. That's my goal. We can just go with, say you want to do all of this for YouTube. And now let's start building. We have the dashboard. I'm on the free plan. These are the operations I'm allowed. You have active scenarios, recommended, but we can come to this later on. So yes, now we have the option, and let's see which we can get.